You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us on the straight way, O God, the way of those whom you bestow your favor, not the way of those who earn your anger, nor of those who went astray. O God, let there be a light on my tongue. Let there be a light above me. Let there be a light below us. Let there be a light behind us. Separate our sins from us as you separated the east and the west. Oh God, please guide us that we may become better people. Thank you, God. In your name we praise. Amen.
And most of y'all might know her before I did. Most of y'all know her works for helping the people, standing by the people, caring for the people before I did. Most of y'all seen her before I did. I love her to death. I love the work that she do. And I know that we need to get her in there so we can complete Pleasantville and put the Pleasant back into the Ville. She's a very caring person. She'll give her last to a stranger. She'll help a stranger. If they have no shoes, she'll take her money, her own money and buy them shoes. I seen her take little girls and do their hair when their hair was ragged, they couldn't find their own mother. This is the kind of woman we're talking about. This is the kind of person we need in office who have the care and concern of the people and not just some kind of other interest. So with that, I ain't gonna stay here all day long, you know, because I'm not good with this stuff. And I'm gonna bring her on, my wife. I love her to death. I do anything for her. I back her and Tony 1,000%. And it's Miss Sharnell Morgan, Miss Sharnell S. Morgan. I bring her up so she can speak for herself. Thank you for letting me share, fam. Take over.
Excuse me, I have to take my mask off. Because this mask be, y'all know how it is. You talk and it goes in and out and out. I'm not going to hold you long. I'm just going to briefly say a little bit about me. A lot of people out here know me, not just my family. I've lived on every side of Pleasantville. I lived from Ridgewood, Shaw Avenue, Green Street, Newmark Avenue, Washington Avenue.
Brookville Terrace?
Yeah, Brookville Terrace. I'm trying to think. Brookville Terrace, Woodland Avenue, which between Woodland and Ridgewood, I gained extra family because around there, a lot of people, especially for Woodland, everybody at that time looked at Woodland like it was the worst place in Pleasantville. And we had good families there. And I've done a lot in the community in Pleasantville, especially Woodland Terrace. And I'm now on Shadeland Avenue, so I wanted to hit every area from the north side to the south side to the middle of Pleasantville. And that's why I feel as though that I am an excellent candidate to be city council at large, because I lived on all outskirts of inside of Pleasantville, and I know what different neighborhoods need and what we're lacking the most. Excuse me. Is activities and things for our youth. We have so many people that say they want to do the right thing for the city, but it's really not for the city, because if you was really worried about the city, you would start with our children. Our children needs more than what is given to them. A lot of people are doing things for self-interest. And you could tell by some of the people that's been in office, some of the people that's still in office, and then you turn around and look and say, what have we done for our children? What do the children have? Starting from the school board to our city to what's going on right now. Yeah, 2 days ago, I was on the side of the road by Marina Del Rey, and I had my flashes on, putting out me and Mr. Davenport's lawn sign. And a young man was riding a four-wheeler. And he turned around and he came back and he asked me, was I okay? That touched my heart, because nowadays these youth, They don't stop to ask you anything. They just keep on going about their business. And he stopped to ask me, was I okay? And I told him yes. And then I asked him, was he registered to vote? And he said yes. He said, but if you run it, can you do me a favor? I said, what's the favor? He said, can you tell the police to stop chasing us? I said, the police is not allowed to chase y'all. He said, well, Pleasantville took everything from us. We don't have the after-school programs. We don't have the summer school no more. The pit is gone. And all we trying to do is ride our bikes and mind our business to have some fun because y'all don't have nothing here for us. So he said, well, when you get in there, can you ask them, can they at least give us a little area where we can do our stunts at, and they won't have to worry about us in the streets. So that really meant a lot because I didn't know this young man from a can of paint, and it really touched my heart to see that some of these youth is not as bad as everybody's trying to make them out to be. And for him to take the time out, and it was probably like about 7 of them riding their bikes down Delilah Road. And for him to take the time out to turn around to come back and ask me that really let me know that I have to go hard. I have to go hard for our children, as well as our seniors, as well as everyone else. We need to have some activities in Pleasantville. We used to have the ambulance squad and washers where we used to do banquets there. We have none of that. Every time somebody want to do something, everybody got to rush to the VFW and try to make it in there or go to Atlantic City. Anytime, and I'm the correspondent secretary of the Pleasantville Democratic Club, and every time they want to do something to raise funds, everybody wants to do something at Kingpin. Pleasantville's big enough, we can have our own bowling alley. We don't have to always go to Kingpin. And to go skating, you got to go to Mays Landing and all the way out there. There's no reason that we really should have to go there. We should be able to have some of these things in place in Pleasantville for our residents. And with having these things, we can intercept, because as everybody knows, Pleasantville is in debt of money. And with us having these type of businesses here, one, we can hire our own first, like everybody else hire their own when they open up something in their city. And two, we can intercept some of the money that's going to Atlantic City and going to Egg Harbor, as well as going to Mays Landing for these types of activities. And also from being on the school board for 5 years, which I'm only one vote, and I sat there and I watched how people on the board wasn't doing things for the interests of our children, but the interests of self-interest, family interest, friends' interest. And that's why our school system hasn't risen the way it should have. Now that we have a superintendent and we're holding her accountable. And being on city council, I can partner with the superintendent to have me as being the councilwoman at large deal with the superintendent to be more involved. I remember when I first got on city council, I'm claiming it, y'all. Y'all hear it, right? I'm claiming it. In order to make Pleasantville grow, you have to have your schools up to par. So people want to move in Pleasantville. And then you have to make Pleasantville worth living in. That even if the schools didn't make it to where it should be, at least the community's there, and then you work with the school. So in order to do that, you need someone in place that can bring it together and work together and don't say we're separate entities. It's nothing never separate when it comes to our children. Nothing. It takes more than a village. It takes more than a village. And not your own village. It's time to combine everything together, work together. I'm tired of shootings. I'm tired of children being buried. I'm tired of shenanigans. We need to step in and save our youth. I'm going to leave it like that because I'll keep going on and on and on. But my heart is here. I've always done everything that I could do. I used to do things in Woodland Terrace. I used to do the back to school. And I also did it on the south side of Pleasantville. I used to do I used to call it the movie night in Woodland, where we were supposed to, as the residents, we were supposed to get together, all the parents, and on Saturdays, open up the community room where as though all the children can come in and play. Well, it started off, it was 5 of us. It ended with just me. I used to have my children carry my TV from my house and the VCR with my little bootleg tapes and, and do the summer camps for the children. I was the only one that stayed there to continue it out. Just like when it turned to New Hope. When it turned to New Hope Community, I used to go there and volunteer to serve them lunch. and breakfast. So the program was the summer program of food where you only supposed to serve the children breakfast, then lunch, and they supposed to go home and come back. When the children came there, they didn't want to go home. So guess what I did? I went out and bought games. Now we got free summer camp. Y'all come, and then after y'all eat lunch, then you got to go, because I got to go now. But y'all can sit here and we're going to play. So once I did that, then Ingram Management wound up hiring me the following year to run their summer program. Then after doing that, then the city of Pleasantville wound up hiring me to do their summer program, because I was always there, and they said I was there more than the people that they was paying, and I was doing this as volunteer. Right. And in Pleasantville, I was the chairperson on the residential committee for the residents. So I had hands in when it was time to tear down Woodland and rebuild Woodland up. And some of the parents and residents didn't want to even come to the meetings. So I made something up what was called Chat and Chew, because people come out to eat. So I would cook and invite all the residents out, so therefore they could hear what Ingram and Pleasantville Housing Authorities had to offer us. So I wound up having the support of Pleasantville Housing Authority, so they wound up selecting me to be the chairperson there too. So anything I put my hands on, I try to master it. And I don't do it for me, I do it for everybody. That's right. Children is first, because I was once a child.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Change you can believe in.
In closing, I just wanted to say, my sister, it's crazy how life is. Because you can set out in life to be all these other things, and God has something else for you to be. And there is no bad place. It's just what you do with it. And as a child, she was already learning how to help children. Like, she's the only daughter from my mother. And she would play with her dolls and do things, and her job was the maintenance of the house. And it's funny how little boys, we grow up, we want to be outside playing cops and robbers. Whereas though little girls, they start learning how to take care of household. And to watch her doing people's hair that mother was maybe strung out on drugs. They come over to her house and I'm like, Shawty, why you got all these kids here? These not your kids, you can't save everybody. But here it is, she's doing their hair. She's buying them clothes so they could go to school. This was before they had the uniforms. The kids didn't want to go to school because they didn't fit in. She would give them clothes. She would feed them. So basically all I'm saying is, in spite of our disagreements, it's for the children. And if you're not going to put somebody in office like her, make sure that they're children first. Because today it's us rooting for them. Tomorrow it'll be them looking after us. That's all I'm saying. It's about the children. That's all it's about.
So I would like to say he is he's the best candidate for mayor of Pleasantville.
I believe that. Yes, sir.
So if everybody get out and vote, he could be mayor of Pleasantville.
That's right. That's right. There you go.
And he will be mayor of Pleasantville. And even though I don't live here, but I grew up here, I've seen 3 mayors come through here. And I've seen mayors that really wasn't into the city of Pleasantville. I've seen it go down, and I've seen it go down, and I've seen it go down. You know, there's money that comes through here, and then when I say come through here, it goes through here. It doesn't stop. Pleasantville should be a lot better than what it is today. The housing, the senior citizens buildings, the youth organizations, you know, it should all be 100% better than what it is. And I think behind him, he will make sure that it happens. And behind this lady here, I'm sure that she would make sure everything happens. So if you work together with him, this will be the next mayor of Pleasantville.
Yes.
Let's give it a hand.
All right, everybody. I just want to say God bless, and you know, thank you for having me here, and thank each and every one of you for being here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about what Pleasantville is in need of, well, we all know what Pleasantville is in need of, but it's how and who is going to get us there. We have a situation with high taxes here. We probably are one of the highest tax communities in Atlantic County, and we rarely get anything for it. You look at our crime and things that are going on, you know, in certain situations that when we look at our police officers, what we have to do is we got to make sure they get everything that they need in order to do the job to keep us safe. You know, so when we look at that situation with murders not being solved, you know, certain things matter to me. When we have our children being shot down at a football game, you know, that is nothing for us to pat anyone on the back for apprehending the person after it's done. You know, these are situations that we need to be proactive about and make sure that we take care of it before it happens. So when it comes to our youth, you know, I've always been there for our children. Me and my family has always done, you know, different events at the high school, and most of the things that we've done has come out of our own pocket. You know, we've done it out of the goodness of our heart, and it's something that I want to continue. You know, I can remember when Pleasantville was the place where everyone wanted to come to, where when I was young growing up, you know, we played ball at Woodland Avenue, and that was where all the ball players from the area came, and you had to test yourself there. Nowadays, you know, there's nothing there, but there's something that we're going to bring back. You know, I've already refurbished Woodland Avenue. Once this virus hit, you know, we took a little step back. We had to take everything down. But the equipment is there that I purchased, that I raised money for, that cost the taxpayers nothing. I raised that money myself. Within 6 months, I was able to refurbish a whole playground and give our children a place to go. And then, being that I was put on our, what you call the wastewater committee, which they thought was a committee that was nothing in the city, you know, me being who I am, I did my homework. I'm trying to find out what's going on. Then I find out they want to sell this property, this entity, or this commodity for a measly $12 million, which is something that we bring in $5.6 million worth of revenue every year. So to me, the math doesn't make sense right there.
Tony.
So right there, you know, I'm using my brain and I'm using my heart. And I'm like, this is not what's in the best interest of our city. So lo and behold, some other things happened. I was able to pack that area, that place right over there, that city council building, with people from my church, with people from the community and different organizations, and I brought the truth out. We ended up voting it down, but it doesn't stop there. Because I cared so much, I kept looking into things, because it's not about stopping something, it's about what do you bring to the table that's going to make the town better.
That's right.
So what I did was I went out and I told our attorneys that, hey, you need to reach out and find out if there's anyone out there that is interested in Pleasantville. And in doing that, we had 6 respondents. One of these companies came to the table, and the Pleasantville as a city right now, and I want you to understand something, that all cities have a number of debt. We have a little debt. Most cities have debt because that's how you operate. You borrow money to get things done, you pay it back, and that's how things work. But Pleasantville as a city, $18 million in debt. So, I sat with an attorney friend of mine, his name is Nestor Smith, brother. We done our homework. I'm down in North Carolina with my grandson over there at a AAU track meet, but still in all, Pleasantville's on my mind. How do I make this thing work? I got this company to come to the table on the day of the council meeting. They sit down here, and this company offered us $30 million up front, which will take us out of debt. They offered us $250,000 annually to keep the city afloat and make sure things work right, to work with our children, to give us different organizations, safety committee, training, and things like that for the people of our community.
I'm going to give you this mayorship because you owe me something. He's working for it. We're going to have a councilwoman that cares about the district. She cares about the kids. She cares about the community. Anyone that sees the board meetings, they're a mess. So they're a mess. So she wants to move up to city council so she can make a change. And she can be not just in one district of Pleasantville, but in the whole surrounding districts of Pleasantville. And she has great ideas. But we have to stop being so stubborn. and stop voting the same way. Please, anyone that's out here that's listening, anybody that's gonna look at this tape, when you vote, vote for the people that are trying to do the right thing. Don't vote because you want to sell your vote for a turkey dinner or for $25. Because when you sell your vote for $25 or a turkey dinner, after all that's over, what you got? The same thing. So if you vote with your conscience to the people that are trying to do what's right, which is Morgan and Davenport, you'll see a change. And you can hold them to this. And if you elect me as a school board, which is, my name is Rowell, you can hold me accountable as well. Because let me tell you something, you can't bribe me. There's nothing you can do for me, but do the right thing. And I'm all about change. And Morgan is the same way. So with that, do the right thing. And I'm all about change. And Morgan is the same way. We shouldn't be in debt. So with that, we should do the right thing. And I'm all about change. And Morgan is the same way. We shouldn't be in debt. Someone in the community the other day as I was handing out my literature, and we were talking about the kids. And I said, well, there's nothing here for the kids. So I said, why, if Atlantic City has a Boys and Girls Club, why can't Pleasantville have a Boys and Girls Club here? Why can't we have a supermarket here? Okay? Why can't we have our own businesses for our own black people or Spanish people? Don't get me wrong, I just got to make things clear because people take things out of context. I'm not prejudiced, but we have to help ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is my vision. And me has been in the community, in this community for over 40 years, the same thing. Same thing. And also I was talking to someone about the taxes. The taxes are horrible. We need to do something about that. So that's why we need change. Not only is the presidential election important, but the city of Pleasantville election is important, and the school board election is important. And also, if you don't know, when you vote for the school board, a part of our taxes comes out of that and goes to city council, which people don't realize that. So that's why it's important that when they have those budget meetings in June to do the budget, we, as citizens, we need to come out. And I know you guys have been discouraged about what you see on the school board because they're not right. You know, you got one person running the school board, and let's be honest here. You got one person making the decisions. The board is made up of 9 or 10 people, not one person. Just like city council is made up of a certain amount of people and not just one person. That's why we need change. And if you vote for Morgan, and if you vote for Davenport, you can't go wrong. And you need to pass the word on. And don't forget to vote for me, because I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do what's right. Thank you. And don't forget to vote. And one more thing about voting. When you vote, it's very, very important. And you need to listen up. When you vote, you need to make sure that you fill your ballot out the right way. You need to make sure you be very, very careful about it, the way you seal it up. And most of all, we need to make sure that we hand it in ourselves. We mail it ourselves. If you don't want to mail it yourself, make sure you don't give it to nobody else that you don't know. Don't sell it for $5, please. Because when you sell your vote for $5, that means you sell what's going on in Pleasantville for $5. And then you wonder why you come here and you wonder why things are not done. You wonder why the police are understaffed. You wonder why the kids are acting crazy. You wonder why we don't have this. You wonder why we don't have that. It's because you sold your vote. So please, I challenge everyone not to sell your vote. And if you vote the right way, you'll see a change. And I'm not saying that change is going to happen overnight, but it's a process. But the process starts when you vote the right way. And also, if you don't want to mail your ballot, they have a box right there. you can put your ballot there if you don't want to mail it. And also, if you don't want to mail your ballot, or if you don't want to leave it there, they're going to have, and don't correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they're going to have the polling places open. I believe it's Leeds Avenue and South Main. You can go vote provisional. And that's another thing that I'm hearing in the community. Oh, we don't want to mail our vote. We want to go and vote provisional. So you can also vote there as well. And I believe that's in Pleasantville as well as in Atlantic City. But you can't do both. Please don't sell your vote.
And you have to make sure your signatures are the same as yours. And when you cast your ballot and you fill out your ballot, you have to make sure your signature is the same signature, or at least close to when you very first registered to vote. I was told that there was so many ballots that had to get thrown out because the signatures weren't the same when you first registered to vote. So it's very important to make sure your signatures are the same as when you first registered to vote. If you have a doubt and can't remember how you signed, you could go to the county clerk's office, show your ID, ask them to pull your registration form up, and then they can show you what your signature is. Because if you like me, I like to write all different types of ways. So just make sure that your signature matches the signature that you put on that paper when you registered to vote, so therefore your vote can count. Because they done threw away too many that they couldn't count because they couldn't verify the signature. And we don't need that. We need a whole new change in Pleasantville. And lastly, when you go to cast your vote for me, Davenport, Rowell, y'all can check our home, y'all do your homework on us. And Chris and Ty, all for the school board. Rowell, Chris, and Ty. When y'all go cast your vote, before you cast your vote, do your homework on each candidate. See what office they held, what office they hold. What have they done since they've been in office? Look how long they have been in office. Was it for our community? Was it for self-interest? Was it for family? What was it? And you can start with the school board. Start with the school board. Do the homework there. Like she said, there's 9 of us. But I have 1 vote. My 1 vote don't mean nothing if the other 6 follow the first person. Our board has been controlled for years, and this is why we haven't had anything done. So to end it, just do all your homework on all the candidates. See how long they've been in office. What have they done productively for our community? And you can take it, pretty much from there. Just don't vote because you see somebody's name and then you just go for their whole crew, their whole setting. Find out why all of a sudden y'all friends. Find out why all of a sudden y'all teaming up to win. Have I seen y'all together in the community any other time? No, everybody's joining up just because they want the other person's people to vote for them. Me and Davenport sat on the board together. Me and Davenport worked together, as well as Ms. Rowell. So we're not in that category where we're just teaming up just so y'all can, I can get his votes, he can get my votes. We work together. But do your homework to find out why everybody teaming up together. And see, have you ever seen them in the community before? And are they only just giving out food now when everybody needed food before this crisis? People need rent assistance before this crisis. And will you continue it after you're in office? Do your homework. That's all I'm going to ask you. Do your homework. Mr. Davenport. Thank you. You better come on because I have him out here all night. I just want change. I want to be in office so I can make change and y'all can hold me accountable. And like I told some people when we went out passing out literature, me passing out our literature, I let the people know that it's not about us. It's about y'all. And just like we coming to ask you for your vote, I want y'all to tell us what do y'all want in Pleasantville. What do y'all need in Pleasantville? And we're going to bring it back to City Council and the mayor. And if they don't see that the citizens want this, then I'm coming back to the same people that voted me in and ask them to come to this meeting, and then y'all ask them why won't they give y'all what y'all say y'all need, because we're here to serve y'all. So it's not me just wanting your vote. I want y'all to hold me accountable and have my back because I got your back. So therefore, if they don't do what y'all say we need, we come to get y'all, so therefore y'all can sit out there and make them do it. Right, Tom?
That's it. Hey, listen, I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you coming. God bless you. And just make sure you just spread the word. I have a brother over there that's trying to guide me on certain things as far as getting the word out amongst the people. But all of you guys know I'm out here hitting the pavement. I'm not joking. This is not something that I'm taking lightly. I know because we're running offline and we're running against the Democratic Club and all of that stuff, you know, we got an uphill battle. But, you know, as long as we got God on our side, there's nothing that's impossible. And I've always gone up against the odds and come out on top. So, you know, I have no problem with fighting. This is out my community. I grew up here, and I want what's best. And for my opponent, who I'm running against, for, you know, anyone else on the city council that is opposing the things that I'm trying to bring to the table, that's in the best interest of all of us, we got to hold them accountable. You understand? We cannot let, I don't care who it is, Miss Ward, Mr. Christmas, Sistrunk, it doesn't matter. We have to make sure that when they're out here and they're opposing something that's in the best interest of you, we have to hold them accountable. Hold their feet to the fire, because I'm fighting for us. I'm fighting for Pleasantville. And I just cannot stand to have people play politics over Pleasantville. And that's our thing. No more politics over Pleasantville. God bless y'all. Stay safe. And fill out them ballots. Biden, Harris, Davenport, Morgan, and Rowell. Where's she at? She took that? Kristen Todd. All right, they're not here, so God bless y'all. And we'll see you when I become mayor in November. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
609tv.com. That's the brother right here that came in here and made sure that we're out here so that we get the exposure that we need. So God bless y'all.